After the age of 50, the constant pursuit of high productivity, characteristic of younger years, begins to exert significant strain on the cardiovascular system, elevating cortisol levels and contributing to chronic systemic inflammation. Conversely, a deliberate shift in focus towards quality and mindfulness initiates the activation of the parasympathetic nervous system. This activation physiologically reduces the resting heart rate, markedly improves heart rate variability, a key indicator of cardiovascular health and adaptability, and actively promotes cellular regeneration throughout the body. The persistent sensation of an inner struggle, unexplained fatigue towards the end of the day, or even a background irritation, all conditions commonly attributed to the aging process, are in fact direct consequences of an unseen overload within your nervous system. This overload stems from the chronic retention of elements that should have long been released. As individuals mature, a distinct form of wisdom emerges. This wisdom does not propel us towards relentless new efforts and achievements, but rather instructs us in the nuanced art of relinquishment. Our contemporary society frequently elevates productivity and ambition to dogmatic principles. However, with advancing age, the paramount concern shifts from the sheer quantity of actions to their inherent quality. During this specific life stage, it becomes critically important to cultivate the ability to undertake fewer activities, yet execute them with significantly heightened awareness and genuine enjoyment. Many attachments fiercely held during younger years invariably diminish in significance over time. Preoccupation with the opinions of others, engagement in unproductive disputes, an endless pursuit of material acquisitions, or persistent attempts to appease everyone. These behaviors collectively deplete our vital energy far more than they ever yield genuine satisfaction. From a neurobiological perspective, continuous external stimulation and the relentless pursuit of infinite objectives sustain the brain in a state of elevated activity. This sustained overactivity leads directly to the depletion of crucial neurotransmitters, which are essential chemical messengers, and results in a measurable reduction in cognitive flexibility, the brain's ability to adapt to new situations and shift between different thought processes. The true secret to a fulfilling life resides not in the accumulation of novel objectives, but in the deliberate liberation from unnecessary burdens, anxieties, persistent worries, and superfluous obligations. These mental and emotional ballasts actively perpetuate chronic stress. Chronic stress, in turn, demonstrably accelerates the process of telomere shortening. Telomeres are protective caps located at the ends of chromosomes, and their shortening is unequivocally linked to cellular aging and dysfunction. Releasing these burdens effectively lowers the allostatic load on the body, the cumulative wear and tear on body systems due to chronic stress. This reduction allows the organism to recover, reallocate its concentrated energy towards truly significant aspects of life, and thereby sustain long-term physiological health and profound internal harmony. The first imperative for liberation is to cease worrying about the opinions of others. From early childhood, we are socialized to consider external perspectives. However, with the passage of time and accumulation of experience, the ultimate futility of this approach becomes undeniably evident. Individuals will invariably form judgments about us, irrespective of our actions or words. Even if your conduct is meticulously flawless, someone will always identify a basis for criticism. Excessive concern over external judgment represents a colossal expenditure of vital energy, actively impeding our capacity to genuinely enjoy life. Persistent internal self-monitoring and strenuous attempts to conform to external expectations demand significant cognitive resources, leading to the demonstrable exhaustion of the prefrontal cortex, the brain region crucially responsible for executive functions such as decision-making, planning, and impulse control. Authentic freedom emerges precisely when you liberate yourself from the dependence on external validation. You possess no inherent obligation to align with others' expectations. This is fundamentally your life. The sooner you cultivate the ability to prioritize your intrinsic values above external opinions, the more rapidly you will attain profound internal tranquility. The endeavor to please everyone is an inherently unwinnable undertaking, given that each individual possesses a unique and distinct worldview. Some will offer judgment without any knowledge of your personal history, while others will critique out of sheer habit, thereby reinforcing their own neuronal pathways associated with negative cognitive processing. The more profoundly you focus on what others think, the less available time and mental capacity you retain for yourself. By permitting external opinions to dictate the trajectory of your life, you inevitably lose genuine contact with your authentic self. You then live not according to your true desires, but rather in a manner convenient for others. Emancipate yourself from this dependency. Simply be authentically who you are. True and lasting happiness materializes when you cease to be preoccupied with the need to be universally loved and accepted. Those who genuinely value you will invariably remain by your side. Live in accordance with your core convictions, rather than striving to meet the expectations of others. Your internal harmony is of supreme importance for both your psychological and physiological well-being, as it directly contributes to a measurable reduction in circulating stress hormones and a significant improvement in the quality of your sleep. The second crucial area for relinquishment involves useless conflicts and unnecessary drama. Disputes, as a rule, lead exclusively to irritation and a significant loss of valuable time. Fundamentally, individuals tend to remain entrenched in their pre-existing opinions, irrespective of the cogency of the arguments you present. There often arises an illusion that a sufficiently clear explanation of your viewpoint will eventually lead to the other person's understanding. However, this outcome is remarkably infrequent. Emotions frequently occlude logical reasoning, rendering your interlocutor unwilling or unable to genuinely listen. From a physiological standpoint, active participation in conflicts precipitates a sharp surge in adrenaline and cortisol, potent stress hormones. This neuroendocrine response elevates arterial blood pressure, accelerates heart rate, and contributes significantly to systemic chronic inflammation, all of which are established risk factors for cardiovascular disease in individuals over the age of 50. The more you engage in argumentation, the deeper you become immersed in a conflictual dynamic that exclusively generates negativity. The act of letting go of such disputes is a hallmark of wisdom, not a demonstration of weakness. The capacity to skillfully avoid fruitless arguments not only preserves your nervous system from undue strain, but also safeguards your interpersonal relationships. Silence and strategic distance frequently constitute the most effective responses to deliberate provocations. It is important to recognize that some individuals are not seeking truth, but rather are motivated by the desire to bolster their own ego. A truly wise person understands that not every battle is worth fighting. The finite energy expended on proving one's point could be far more productively invested in genuinely constructive endeavors. It is vital to internalize the understanding that your perspective does not invariably require validation or acceptance. At times, choosing silence is superior to expending energy on those who demonstrate no inclination to listen. Inner tranquility is profoundly more valuable than the effort to alter another's deeply held convictions, as it directly and positively influences sleep quality, digestive function, and the body's overall resilience to chronic stress. The third essential practice is to cease attempting to solve the problems of others. Every individual must navigate their unique life journey, complete with its inherent difficulties and trials. Even with the most benevolent intentions, your intervention does not invariably confer benefit. Paradoxically, by resolving someone else's challenges, you may inadvertently deprive that person of the crucial opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. The most profoundly valuable lessons are those acquired through direct personal experience, which demonstrably fosters the formation of new neural connections and enhances cognitive flexibility. Intervening excessively in the lives of others risks not only the dissipation of your own energy, but also potential encounters with misunderstanding or resentment. Cultivate the discernment to differentiate between individuals who genuinely require assistance and those who merely seek to offload their burdens onto you. Refusing to solve others' problems is not an act of selfishness. It is rather a clear demonstration of respect for individual boundaries. By liberating yourself from these external concerns, you reclaim and restore energy for the betterment of your own life. Focus intently on your internal tranquility, rather than expending effort trying to rectify situations that fundamentally lie beyond your direct control. When an individual confronts difficulties, this experience is an integral component of their personal journey and developmental growth. Release any feelings of guilt associated with your inability to assist everyone. Such universal assistance is inherently impossible and falls outside the scope of your personal responsibility. Your brain possesses a finite capacity for attention and problem solving. Constant diversion towards others' tasks systematically depletes this critical cognitive resource, thereby diminishing your own productivity and overall life satisfaction. The fourth critical release involves both perfectionism and lingering regrets. Perfectionism fosters the deceptive illusion that everything in life can be meticulously controlled and that errors are entirely avoidable. However, life's inherent nature is unpredictable, and mistakes are, in fact, an inevitable component of human experience. The relentless pursuit of an ideal outcome frequently culminates in profound disappointment and a state of perpetual internal tension. From a psychological standpoint, perfectionism is statistically correlated with elevated levels of anxiety and depression, primarily because it establishes unattainable standards and instigates ceaseless self-criticism. This constant negative self-evaluation profoundly damages self-esteem and triggers the sustained release of detrimental stress hormones. Perfection itself is a pervasive myth that actively hinders our capacity to genuinely enjoy our existence. Lamenting the past will not alter its historical reality. It will only systematically divest you of the joy inherent in the present moment. The more intensely you fixate on regrets, the less vital energy remains available for forward momentum. It is of paramount importance to internalize the understanding that your past errors have fundamentally shaped the person you are today, having enriched your life experience and deepened your inherent wisdom. Therefore, cease regretting that which cannot be changed. Life is intrinsically composed of both triumphs and setbacks, and every single moment holds its own unique significance. Embrace your personal journey with all its inherent challenges and successes. Direct your focus towards the future, rather than dwelling on what has been left behind. Do not fear progress, even when the path ahead remains uncertain. Accept your life exactly as it is, with all its inherent imperfections. True strength resides in the profound capacity to accept oneself and one's mistakes, a process that significantly reduces the level of internal psychological conflict and liberates substantial mental energy for more productive and enriching pursuits. The fifth crucial element to relinquish is the accumulation of superfluous possessions. The direct correlation is clear. The more material possessions we acquire, the more pervasive our worries become. While material goods initially appear to promise happiness, over time, they invariably transform into a burden, demanding significant portions of our attention and resources. The perpetual upkeep of property, its organized storage, and the persistent anxiety concerning its security collectively generate an additional cognitive load, effectively diverting mental energy from genuinely more significant aspects of life. Authentic happiness is not quantifiably measured by the sheer number of objects one possesses, but rather by the profound depth of experienced moments. Recollections of warm social gatherings, deeply sincere conversations, and unforgettable travel experiences are incomparably more valuable than the acquisition of the latest fashionable gadget. The deliberate simplification of life liberates not only physical space, but also the mental landscape, thereby enabling a focused concentration on what is truly essential. Minimalism, in this context, is not an ascetic rejection of comfort, but rather the art of retaining only what genuinely holds intrinsic value. Instead of merely surrounding yourself with inanimate objects, intentionally surround yourself with individuals who genuinely contribute to your happiness and well-being. Neurobiological research unequivocally demonstrates that robust social connections and high-quality experiential events activate the brain's intrinsic reward systems, leading to the measurable release of oxytocin and dopamine. These neurochemicals contribute to a sustained and profound sense of well-being, contrasting sharply with the transient, short-lived emotional spike typically associated with the purchase of new consumer items. True wealth is precisely measured by the quality of one's life experience, not by the quantifiable volume of material possessions. Purchased items invariably depreciate and lose their perceived value, whereas cherished experiences remain indelibly with us forever, profoundly shaping our personality and enriching our inner world. The sixth critical obligation to release is the relentless pursuit of pleasing everyone. The desire to appease all individuals is an interminable race that fundamentally yields no genuine satisfaction. Irrespective of your efforts, there will inevitably be individuals who remain dissatisfied. Persistent attempts to be agreeable to everyone systematically strip you of your individuality and your intrinsic internal peace. The continuous suppression of your own authentic needs and desires in favor of others leads directly to a state of chronic stress, resulting in elevated levels of cortisol, the primary stress hormone, and consequently to a measurable weakening of the immune system's efficacy. Prioritizing yourself is not an act of selfishness. It is rather a conscious and deliberate choice in favor of your own personal harmony and well-being. Cultivate the essential skill of saying no without experiencing debilitating guilt. Individuals who genuinely value you will never request that you sacrifice your own well-being for their convenience. Conversely, those who become offended by your choices likely never held your value in high regard to begin with. Liberate yourself from the impossible obligation to please everyone. When you cease this futile endeavor, only those who truly appreciate and value you for who you are will remain steadfast in your growth. Your personal energy is a precious and finite resource. Expending it on the desire to please everyone constitutes a monumental error that systematically depletes your physiological reserves and ultimately leads to profound emotional burnout. The seventh crucial transformation involves deliberately slowing down the relentless pace of life. We exist within a global paradigm where speed has become the prevailing metric of success. However, within this incessant race, we frequently lose sight of the very essence of living itself. Constant hurried activity generates a deceptive illusion of productivity, yet in reality, it merely exhausts our vital reserves. Chronic rushing perpetually sustains the body in a fight or flight state, continuously activating the sympathetic nervous system. This sustained activation results in elevated blood pressure, impaired digestive function, and a measurable reduction in critical cognitive functions such as concentration and memory recall. Life is not a competitive race. The most profound joys, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the invigorating scent of fresh air, the resonant laughter of a loved one, these are the precise elements that imbue our existence with profound meaning. Without a conscious effort to decelerate, these precious and fleeting moments are inevitably overlooked. Moments of silence, unhurried, purposeful walks, and deep, meaningful conversations all contribute significantly to the intrinsic depth and richness of life. A tranquil and deliberate pace of life fundamentally helps to restore internal harmony by activating the parasympathetic nervous system, thereby actively promoting cellular regeneration. By consciously slowing down, we cease to be mere captives of time and instead begin to experience it fully, consciously inhabiting each present moment. This practice significantly enhances emotional regulation capacities and demonstrably reduces overall anxiety levels. The eighth significant release involves letting go of incessant worry about the future. Anxiety concerning what might transpire will not, in any verifiable way, alter the course of future events. It will merely systematically deprive you of the inherent joy of the present moment. The future will perpetually remain an arena of inherent uncertainty. The habitual anticipation of worst-case scenarios actively poisons our current reality with an overwhelming deluge of unproductive thoughts. These negative thought patterns recurrently activate the amygdala, the brain region crucially involved in processing emotions, particularly fear, thereby sustaining a chronic state of fear and anxiety even in the absence of any genuine, immediate threat. This sustained activation profoundly exhausts the entire nervous system. Instead of agonizing over what has not yet occurred, direct your concentrated attention to what exists precisely here and now. Trust in the unfolding of life and in your own inherent capabilities serves as the fundamental key to achieving profound peace of mind. Reflect upon your past experiences. you have already successfully navigated and overcome numerous challenges. Recall that you possess an intrinsic inner strength to adapt effectively and to consistently find viable solutions. This accumulated experience directly forms and strengthens your cognitive resilience. True wisdom resides in the practice of living fully in the present moment, coupled with an abiding trust that events will unfold as they are destined to, thereby significantly reducing cognitive load and enhancing your overall emotional state. The ninth, and critically important, action to undertake is to actively distance yourself from toxic individuals. The people with whom you choose to surround yourself exert a direct and profound influence on your emotional state and overall well-being. It is vitally important to internalize the understanding that not all relationships warrant preservation at any cost. Certain individuals contribute exclusively negative energy and pervasive stress to your life. If, following an interaction with someone, you consistently experience feelings of exhaustion, anxiety, or irritation, this serves as an unequivocal signal that it is time to meticulously reevaluate the nature of that connection. Such detrimental interactions trigger the chronic release of stress hormones, which demonstrably leads to cellular damage, a compromised immune system, and an elevated risk of developing clinical depression and serious cardiovascular diseases. Do not harbor fear in releasing those individuals who consistently fail to value you or who exploit your goodwill. Mature adulthood represents a precious period to intentionally surround yourself with those who genuinely contribute to your happiness, rather than those who perpetually complain, criticize, or manipulate. Life is demonstrably too brief to expend on individuals who fail to introduce light and positivity into your existence. Sometimes, the most effective strategy to preserve your internal balance and well-being is simply to release those who are no longer beneficial to your journey, thereby creating essential space for high-quality, genuinely supportive relationships. These positive connections are scientifically proven to enhance cognitive health and significantly extend longevity. Ultimately, life is not an interminable race for achievements, external approval, or the relentless accumulation of material possessions. Authentic and profound satisfaction emanates precisely when you consciously and deliberately choose where to invest your finite and valuable energy. By systematically refusing unnecessary obligations, persistent worries, and toxic relationships, you effectively create expansive space within your life for genuine joy, profound tranquility, and authentic happiness. Your life belongs exclusively to you, and only you possess the inherent authority to determine how it will be lived. Grant yourself permission to decelerate, to consciously experience the present moment, and to meticulously surround yourself solely with that which genuinely contributes to your holistic physical and psychological well-being.